Hey everybody, it's Trevette Harper from TrevetteHarper.com. Thank you for joining me for another month of Ministry Moments. I am here in the beautiful home of Mrs. ToNia Ruby. She's here with me today. I am so excited for you to get to know her mother, singer, wife, counselor, anything you want to say, but just a great woman of faith, and I'm excited for you to get to hear her story and get to learn more about her. So, Miss ToNia. Hey girl. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to get her. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know it's about to go down in the Lord, in the name of Jesus.
You feel me?
Huh? So, Miss ToNia, tell us about your business. What is it called and what do you do? And we're just going to start right there.
Okay. I am the founder of and owner of Ruby Studios. And Ruby Studios is a pretty much a vocal company. It started out in like 2011. My background is in vocal performance. I've traveled the world singing classical and then doing R&B and jazz and things like that. And I love music. So what better thing to do than to go into voice?
Yes, ma'am.
But my plan,
Yeah.
not God's plan.
What?
My plan was to be traveling the world, doing Broadway, off Broadway is what I was doing. And after I had my first son, about 3 years down the line, I found out he had autism. So that kind of, slowed things down. And I said, well, God, what am I going to do?
Come on.
He said, what did you go to school to do?
Well,
I said, well, I technically went to school to sing, but he said, well, you picked up some other traits while you were there. And I was like, well, I can teach voice. And that's how it was birthed. The Ruby Studios was birthed out of that. And come to find out, I'm pretty darn good at it. and I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching people how to properly sing. I educate and train on the voice. I am not a vocal coach.
amen.
I am a vocal trainer.
All right.
And the difference between the two is usually a vocal coach is only interested in you sounding good for the concert. And that's fine if that's what you want, but I want to have my voice the rest of my life. And it's important, just like someone has to train your body, how to be fit, how to take care of it. It's the same thing with the voice. The voice is a muscle.
Amen.
And if you don't train it and make sure that it's safe, know the proper things to do to take care of your instrument, because it is an instrument. We are the first instruments created.
Yes.
You can't destroy it. So my objective in Ruby Studios is to educate. And after education, train. And once you have the education and the training, then I know you can walk away from Ruby Studios knowing what you're doing. So that's pretty much what Ruby Studios is about.
Come on. It's funny because you mentioned, that was your plan.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Gotta redirect you.
Oh, he's real good at that, and for a minute you get a little salty. Can we keep it 100?
Yeah.
You get a little salty because you're like, that is not what I wanted to do, and that doesn't mean that he won't open doors, because I still act, I still perform.
Amen.
I still do live theater. I'm still a local artist around the city. Sometimes I get the opportunity to travel outside the country. So God is very good. He still opens up doors and allows me to do the things that I want to do with 3 kids and a husband.
Amen.
Hello. That can be a doozy sometimes trying to figure that out, But at all in all, I've gotten great joy.
Amen.
In training voices and hearing people's voices change and develop. And I really do. I enjoy training and teaching.
So, Miss ToNia, you talked about the beginning of Ruby Studio. So, from the time when you started all the way up to now, how has it grown and what have you learned from it?
Ruby Studios has gone through some hills and valleys.
Come on.
I think, when people do things that are not so nice, it can discourage you, and you want to quit. You put your trust into people, thinking that they'll do right by you, and they didn't, and I thought I would quit, and God put a wonderful man in my life that did not allow me to quit neither entertaining or Ruby Studios. Once he saw me, once my husband is Theophilus Caldwell Sr. I love him so much, and praise God for him. He had never actually saw me perform. He saw me teach. He saw me train. But after he saw me perform professionally for the first time, he said, "You'll never work another 9 to 5."
Come on.
He said that. He said, "You focus on your gift."
Speaking into existence.
So when I started Ruby Studios, I kind of thought, this is gonna be cool. I know what I'm doing. I know how to train. I know how to teach. And then I quit. And then my husband wouldn't let me quit, so I went back to it. And I had to learn some real lessons in life. That number one, if you quit, you really don't grow. When a seed is planted, it's in the dark.
Well,
And you don't see the process. So you're not sure what's really happening. But when it gets God's touch, then all of a sudden you start seeing growth coming out the ground. And it isn't amazing how you see a seed sprout, but you don't know it's sprouting until it pushes itself
yes.
out of the ground. And that's what I've seen over the last couple of years. I've seen growth financially. I've seen growth mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
I deal with things and people a lot different than I used to. I realize that this is not just a job, it's a ministry.
Amen.
There's many times where people come into my office where they aren't necessarily in the mood to sing. They need to talk. And they need to cry.
Yes.
So there have been times where I've been a counselor and had to, in that day or that moment, I might have needed some counseling myself.
Well,
But
keep it all the way real.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But when God puts you in positions of leadership like that, you learn to put yourself aside. You understand the walk of Christ. And the walk of Christ was, even though I'm hurting, I have a mission. Even though I'm going through things, I have a mission. There are people that need what I have.
Woo.
Same with the rest of you. There are things that God has placed in you, and people need what you have. And sometimes we'll let the fire and the smoke that's around us make us scared. But we're surrounded by Him.
What?
God controls the wind that can knock out the fire.
Did I call her a preacher? Because I meant to say that. If I didn't, go ahead.
So sometimes you just gotta chalk it up and realize it's okay. It's okay. It's part of learning. One thing that me and my husband, we love to quote from Will Smith.
Yeah.
He says, "Fail often, fail fast. Fail often, fail forward." It's okay to fail.
Yeah.
It's okay to make mistakes. I have not gotten to where I want to be with Ruby Studios, but I'm not quitting anymore.
That's right.
I'll never quit again.
Yes.
I'll keep pushing until I learn what I need to learn to get it to the next plateau.
Yes, ma'am.